Hey guys, what's up? This is Derek here from the KRED YARD bringing you episode 9 featuring Suzi Moon. I've been looking forward to this episode for a while now, so I'm glad it's finally here. Um, Super excited for it. Suzi, thank you so much for coming on. It was great talking with you. And yeah, down below, I'll have all the links for everything. She has a new 7-inch coming out April 1st. We'll get into that too. It's titled Animal, and I'll have the link down below to pre-order that. So yeah, along with the tour dates that are coming up for her. So yeah, enjoy the episode, guys. Thanks.
They want to sell you hot rods and cheap perfume. Every move.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Hell yeah, thanks for having me. I'm stoked.
It's truly an honor.
Yeah, man.
It's probably the biggest one for me yet.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's mutually beneficial,
Mhm.
and it's a cool opportunity for me to meet you,
Yeah.
and like your people and all that stuff. And like, if we can just help each other, it's good for our scene. So,
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's
Yeah.
the whole reason I wanted to do something, started doing this stuff. So yeah, it's been fun.
awesome. Cool.
I was wondering if it was cool if you go back to wind the clocks back to when you started your
Sure.
musical career, which is
hmm
it's really cool to read and hear about. I know you joined Savette with your sister.
hmm
You were 16, I think, right?
Yeah, I was so little. Are you recording?
Yeah, I usually I find a good spot to start it. So
Okay, good. Yeah.
Usually when I say thanks for being on, that's when I put it.
Okay, right on.
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to. I'm looking out for both of us because I was doing some shows last year, and you just got to make sure you're fucking recording. I totally had a moment where I was like, "Fuck, everybody,
I know. If you see me,
backwards."
yeah,
Like,
if you see me keep
Yeah.
looking down this way, I'm making sure that they record. But I know it's on, but I'm still what if it's not? So yeah.
cool. Yeah. So my older sister Liza, she had started a band when she was in high school. We grew up in Long Beach, California, and it was an all-girl punk band. We're about 5 years apart. So by the time I turned 15, she was 20. She was like, "Look, you need to join my band." And I was like, "What's in it for me?" And she had been taking me to punk shows and throwing me in the pit, so I really grew up going to backyard shows and small DIY, all ages gigs and stuff. So she was like, "Yeah, I need somebody on my team that's like family, I want you in the band." And I was like, "Okay, that sounds awesome. I love music." I'd been writing songs already, as a kid, just writing little songs and stuff. So she gave me a guitar, a right-handed guitar, because it was what we had in the house,
All right, you're left-handed.
And I was like, yeah. And I was like, "Dude, I suck. This is horrible. I'm not having any fun." And then one day I realized when I was air guitar, I was facing the other direction, So I was like, "Is there something we can do about this? Flip it around or something?" She was like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing." So we flipped the guitar around, restrung it, and I wasn't as bad after that. I was like, "Oh, okay, this feels better." And yeah, she brought me in the band very early on, and not long after that, we were in the studio with Dwayne Peters recording a 7-inch, for his label Disaster Records. So that was my first studio experience ever, was being with Dwayne.
Wow.
And he is fucking brilliant, man. He just has a fucking ear for tunes, for catchy, tasty tunes. And this was a sober period in Dwayne's life.
Right.
He was with Corey Parks, and that man was fucking on fire, and he did so much for us. He got us involved with Draven and Vision Streetwear. We were doing all these cool photo shoots and stuff. And it was very exciting for me because I had graduated high school early, so I could do the band full time. My mom was super supportive of that. She loved that my sister and I were doing something together like this. So she was like, "Yeah, if you can graduate, take the test early, get out of high school, you're going to be with your older sister, go ahead and go on tour,"
That's awesome. So she was she was a big influence too with you in music, right? Because she would have.
Oh, 100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Because without her, I was listening to Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys and Good Charlotte, who I still love. I will always love Good Charlotte. But I don't know how old you are. I'm 31.
I'm
So
28.
about yeah, so, about this time, early 2000s, there was a lot of like pop punk going on,
Mm-hmm.
and the big early like 2000s pop stuff in general. Like, that's what was on the radio
Right.
when I was in fifth grade. So I was really into that stuff. But at the same time, I had my sister showing me US Bombs and The Clash, The Cramps, and like more obscure stuff, and I love the energy of punk rock and shows. And I've always been the girl who loves to dress up and put together really cool outfits. And I think that's something cool about the punk rock community, is that, everyone's encouraged to be their fucking wildest, weirdest, just show it all, put it out there. So I always like to put on like really cool outfits and go to shows with my big sister and feel super cool doing that. And then I got to do it in the band, and it's like, oh shit, like this is real. Now I'm playing with bands that I've been listening to, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When you said Good Charlotte, that was my first concert. So
No
yeah,
way.
so that's cool. Yeah. I used to get made fun of in school. I had a Good Charlotte sweatshirt on all the time, and
Fuck that.
yeah, I know.
Those motherfuckers wrote some killer songs,
Mm-hmm.
and their harmonies are so good.
Mm-hmm.
I really learned how to like sing harmonies by listening to Good Charlotte.
Yeah.
Because just the way that the brothers' voices work together, fucking killer. So there was that, and then obviously like Green Day and My Chemical Romance, all the Warped Tour bands, and then getting to play Warped Tour at such an early age. I was 17 when I played my first Warped Tour, and that's a huge accomplishment. It was a big deal for me,
Yeah, that's everyone. That's every kid's dream to be at the Warped Tour, to be on that stage,
Mm-hmm.
to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what 17. You guys were signed to Hellcats then, Hellcat Records.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dwayne thing led us to Tim and the whole Hellcat crew.
That's
Actually, the warehouses for Dwayne's label and Tim's merch company, they were across the street from each other in LA.
Oh, okay.
So we'd be over with Dwayne at the label, and then Dwayne would like walk us across the street and like introduce us to Tim, and like, oh, these are my girls. Like, you should do a photo shoot with them for Machete, whatever. So just, it was a natural like next step.
Wow. Was that a lot to take in at such a like young age? Like, I'm sure I wouldn't know where to begin. Yeah.
Well, I had pictures of Rancid up on my wall, so I still vividly remember that first day that we met them, and I was shaking, like really fucking shaking. It was it's so cool. Like, they're one of the most important bands in punk rock ever. And to hang out with them and like be affiliated with them was really cool. But Tim is just the most down to earth, music loving person. He is the same as us in the way that he wants to contribute to that thing we love, which is punk rock. So he was totally a mentor to us, and came in the studio with us and got us hooked up with better instruments, contributed a song to the first Civet record.
Oh, cool.
And
okay.
yeah, it's a song called All I Want.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, Tim actually wrote that song.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we would all just hang out and grab lunch or do whatever, and great mentor in my life. Still somebody that I hold very close to my heart, and I'm thankful to call a friend. And it's like all these people had such a big like play in how my career has turned out. If these people hadn't believed in me or the project I was in and given us, a fucking step forward, you can't do it all on your own. You really need people to help, show you the way. And I was so young, I'm just soaking up all this stuff, like how to be a pro in the studio, and how to write better songs, and how to be efficient loading in and off stage, and being on tour, and, just leveling up very quickly. One of our first big tours was with Dropkick Murphys and the Mighty Boss Stones. Yeah.
I remember. I read that, and even before I told you I first heard you on Jughead's podcast, and then like. I started like.
He's so cool.
Yeah, when I started diving into everything, because I was like, wow, she's seen so much and done so much already, and I'm like, going in, I'm like, oh my god, Dropkick Murphys, and then you said you were like in Japan.
Yeah, and I think I was 19 when we went to Japan with Floggy Molly.
Wow.
So that's just it's kind of weird because like you look back at it and it's like, wow, like I did that such a long time ago, you know?
Yeah, but you're
Good
still
for
young.
little me. Yeah, good for little me, you
Yeah.
know? So that's something that, you know, all those things, like you can't like define, I don't think you can define like success by like one moment in your life or your career. Really, it's like cumulative, you know?
Right.
So there's been all these really fucking cool parts of my career that like as a whole I feel so successful. I've done amazing things that I've things I've wanted to do, things I've wanted to accomplish. I've done them, and now I'm in this new era with the Suzi Moon band, which is something I always knew I wanted to do.
Hmm.
But like, you know, you have to go one step at a time.
Right.
You can't rush the process, you know.
And what a better way to
Um,
start.
oh yeah, well, I mean, one thing led to another, really.
Hmm. Yeah, cause yeah. So then sorry, you guys went like I said, I think in 2011, you guys, that was when it was it. I think your sister just like didn't want, it was done, ready to move on from music.
It was me.
It was you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good. And there's two sisters. It could have been any sister.
Right. Right.
Yeah, at that point, I was just kind of freaking out a little bit about life in general. You know, I'd spent so many years being on the road and not kind of living like a normal sort of life that I had my first existential crisis
Right.
where, you know, I just, when you don't have like, and it is a career and music's a career and it's my life and I'm in it forever. And it's different for me now, but at 22, you know, it's a really scary place to be in when, you know, can I make enough money from record sales? Can I make enough money on tour? If I'm not making enough money on tour, then I'm coming home and I can't afford an apartment. So I'm living on somebody's couch.
Right.
I didn't want to live like that anymore. I needed to totally take a fucking break and just be a person for a while, you know, because I didn't get to do any of that like normal teenage kind of coming of age stuff. All of it happened being very like out on the road. And I needed to just come home and fuck around a little bit and be young, you know, and figure out like my trajectory, like what I wanted out of life, you know.
Yeah. It's very good.
And
You
of
did
course
that.
it led me back to music.
Yeah. Well, it's good to do that. Everyone needs
But
to
I did
move on.
take
I'm sorry.
it was fucking so healthy.
Hmm.
So good. It reaffirmed that absolutely this is what I want to do with my life.
Right.
You
Especially.
know, but yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Especially like yeah, when you first started and you know being 16 years old, the whole like even though it's punk, but like the whole music industry from
Hmm.
that point to 2011 is a big shift, a whole big change. So you got to see
Yeah.
that, and it's like that is
Yeah. Oh yeah, the music industry itself changed so much and you know, not a lot of people can relate to you when you tell them, you know, you've lived out of a van for the last 6 months or something,
right.
you know, and I needed to like just kind of like be Susie for a while, not like Susie in a band
Hmm.
for a while. So like I just took some time off, started working at, you know, some bars in downtown LA, which led me back to music, you know.
Right. I think I saw an interview you did. Yeah, I watched on YouTube as well. Like yeah, you were working in a restaurant and some bands were playing. And
Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
that, right?
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
that led you to Turbulent Hearts.
It did. Yeah, that bar is called the Redwood Bar. And actually, since I left LA in late 2020, I haven't played Los Angeles since 2019.
Hmm.
And we're doing this full US tour with Ravagers in April.
Yep.
And for the LA date, I said we have to play at the Redwood because that's my home base. I even have a Turbulent Heart song called Redwood Nights.
Oh,
You know, that's the place that like restarted my relationship with music, and that's my family, you know. Even after I stopped working there, by then I was playing there so much, and just there's a big scene that was happening there, you know.
cool. Yeah.
So the Redwood is my home away from home. It's my favorite club in all of LA, and you know, to go back there on this tour playing it after not being there for a long time. Like, it's going to be a homecoming. I'm going to be crying. Like, I'm going to see all my friends I haven't seen for a long time. Like, it's going to be really fucking special.
That's awesome. I'm glad you're making it back there.
Me
Especially
too.
with everything.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So yeah, like, so with Turbulent Hearts, then it was like, you know, you got to see it. I don't know. Yeah, you said you were writing songs always, but I think it was your sister was the primary in the first band, right?
Yeah, that was really her band.
Yeah.
You know, and I was her backup. I
Right.
was like her, and I learned a lot too. Like, I needed that.
Yeah.
To looking up to her and seeing how she was doing things, and having my position in the band where I didn't make a lot of the big choices, you know, but at a certain point, she and I did start writing together a lot. So a lot of the songs that are on Love and War, like which is the second album we did for Hellcat, I wrote the music and then she would write the lyrics.
Okay.
And then the last song on the record is called You Get What You Pay For, and that's like a full Suzi song. And that was a big deal for me, right? To bring my song in, because I was the youngest in the band. It's like when you bring your song to people, you know, it's like, I don't know if it's any good, you guys, you know?
Right.
But I knew it was something I always wanted to do, was like really use my voice and get my music out there. So with Turbs, like I call that Suzi Moon with training wheels. Like, it was really me, like getting my confidence going, learning how to lead a band, how to be a front woman, you know, really taking on all the business stuff of it too, because, you know, you got so much shit you got to do to make a band operate.
Right.
And so it was my first time doing something like that. And I played with Turbs for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, that was a fucking great time in my life.
Awesome. That's good. That's what I'm glad to hear. Because you witnessed all that happening, and then with Turbulent Hearts, then you got to take the reins of it.
And do it my way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know what I'm doing. I can do this shit too.
That's good.
And I just had great bandmates, you know, and we played mostly locally. That was our thing. We really just stayed around LA and played with all of our friends' bands. Like, it was a really, really fun project. And I got to finally like test out all this material and, you know, find out what kind of songwriter I was and what kind of performer I was live, what I wanted to do, you know, but I always knew I wanted to take it like another step and do the solo thing. So now I'm here, and like the band I have now is the band I've been waiting for like my whole life. Like, it feels like we've really got something fucking special.
Right. Yeah, because what were you like pulling though for that? Like when you were first like when you were making that leap out to for Turbulent, was like what was your big like influences, like going for like stage presence in terms of that? Because you were playing guitar.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah. I mean, I pull my influences from a lot of different places. I can't even remember like what I was thinking during that time. I was just trying to be me, you know, like really, really trying to figure out who I was as a performer. Cause in Civet, we were very like dialed in with our kind of look and our thing. And it was like, well, now I'm not a part of like something where it's like a unit like that. Like I get to figure out my thing. So, I just tried to have a good fucking time and be me, but, it wasn't Joan Jett, if that's what you were looking for.
Oh, no. No. Because I know you had with the Go-Go's and everything, too.
So the whole Go-Go's thing, that's so interesting because when we've got this new EP called Animal that's coming out on April 1st, and I'm so excited about it. I am a huge Josie and the Pussycats fan. I don't know if you've ever listened to the soundtrack for the movie that came out in the early 2000s.
I may have. If I hear it, maybe I would have been familiar with it. But I don't think, not in recently.
It's in my top 5 favorite albums of all time.
Okay.
Like, the songs are so fucking good. And it's not the girls from the movie. You know, it's like it's a fucking massive list of writers and producers and people who, they must have had so much fun making this perfect record, because it's like the most amazingly crafted like punk pop rock songs like ever, and it's cruel that it's by a band that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'll have to check
it's
that
so
out
fucking good.
Yeah, I'll check
What?
that out. I'll check that out later.
Oh my god, Yes, do yourself a favor. My personal favorite is Spin Around. It's a song that I love. But I mean, ever since I was a kid, I like wanted to be Josie and the Pussycats, you know? Like, so when we went in to do the Animal EP and we got to the song Gold Record Autograph, for me, my influences there were like Elvis Costello and Josie and the Pussycats. And then when we sent the song into Pirates Press Records, they were like, it's got a Go-Go's thing about it. And I was like, well, that's really cool. Like, I hadn't considered that at all. And I love the Go-Go's, but it's not a band that I'm listening to all the time.
Right.
You know? I would say that I definitely listen to the Josie and the Pussycats soundtrack more than I listen to the Go-Go's. Like, but I fucking love the Go-Go's. And actually, just because they said that, I like went back and re-listened to Beauty and the Beat, you know, when I was at the gym the other day, and I was like, God, they're so fucking good.
Yeah, for real.
So good.
Real. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Legend.
Nailed it. Yeah.
It's funny with them, I won't go too off, but with the Go-Go's, like getting into the punk music, like I always like, oh, the Go-Go's, they're punk, and then like I watch like documentaries and stuff, and you see the Flyers and playing with like Black Flag.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, oh, holy crap.
Yeah, they were right there, part of that LA scene.
Right, because like being as a kid, like being in the car with my mom, you know, you hear Vacation or whatever on the radio, and all that, and that's what I knew them as. I'm like, oh, they're just I'm like, and then when you get older, you look into them deeper, and but yeah.
No, cool. They totally came from that same scene in LA, and I think they just took it where they wanted to take it, you know, and it totally worked, and that's punk.
Yeah,
like it's the most punk thing ever. Don't Absolutely. You know, do what you guys want to do and do it the best you can.
Right. Now with that song that you mentioned, the single off your new EP coming out, the Gold Record Autograph, was that like, you know, the lyrics I know are pretty dark. It's very like proto-punky, like go-go-y, upbeat. But was that you know, it's about, like you said, a band, you know, making that decision, that leap to go to a major label, and all the risks with that included. Was that like maybe with inspiration, like with your life too, back in Civet and stuff?
I wouldn't say it has anything to do with me personally at all.
Okay.
It's just a story. More than anything, it's inspired by friends of mine.
Yeah, you've seen
that have been through that in a bigger way. People I've shared rehearsal spaces with in LA who were signed to Capitol Records, who got their records shelved, you know, who fucking waited and waited and waited, and then were trapped in this situation that they couldn't get out of. Yeah. You know, those are heartbreaking stories because bands just want to be heard, you know, and I don't know if you're familiar with this Against Me song, Stop. Stop, take some time to think. Yep. Yeah, lyrically, I was really inspired by that song because I know that's Against Me's kind of take on that situation, you know, when they got signed to a major. And Against Me is one of my favorite bands of all time. Yeah, and I always go back to Against Me for inspiration.
Best songwriters of our time.
So fucking cool, so good. Shape Shift with Me, like that's my record. Like I love them all, and it took a while for it to grow on me, and then when it got into my heart, like I was like, I think this is the best work she's ever done, like production wise, like songwriting, like it's so fully formed, you know, like, oh, it's so fucking good. And then I'll listen to New Wave and be like, no, this is the best.
It's tough. It is.
It really is.
That's cool you bring that record up because with the last one, the Transgender's 4 Year Blues, it was all like her self-producing and all that, and then her going the DIY route and then getting better. And I think that's like in correlation with you, like we Call the Shots. That's an awesome EP, and that's all you. And now this next one, Animal, coming out with the first single, it's like it's a natural progression. It's really cool to see.
Yay! Thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, you're only as good as your team too. And with Call the Shots, that was recorded with different musicians while I was still in LA. You know, I started recording that stuff before I got an offer from Pirates Press Records. So it wasn't like where I am at now with the band I've been playing with live for almost a year, where we're super fucking tight and stuff. Right. And that's the band you hear on the Animal EP, you know? Everything was kind of like my steps were all backwards, you know, like I'd started recording this stuff and then Pirates Press Records hit me up and then it was like, okay, yeah, we'll put that out. And then I got my band. Then we started playing shows and getting really tight and gelling over, you know, and then we did the Animal EP together. So I think you hear that, like, that collaboration, that like that group feeling, you know, it's got this more of the vibe of a band, whereas Call the Shots was like me putting something together, like with what I had available, basically.
Right. Solidified,
you know,
now it's being solidified.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Thank you.
Yeah, you have Drew Champion on. I forget the other two guys, but I know Drew Champion.
Yeah.
Player. He's really awesome.
Oh, he's such a good guitar player. Yeah.
I know you said on the Jughead podcast too, like you're when you're playing guitar, you're more of a rhythm player. So like you play the solos in your head and tell them. So how's that been?
Yeah.
Has that been getting only better and better now with the second EP now?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's so valuable to have players that make you better. You know, and that's something that happened with me with Turbulent Hearts. I was playing with people that helped me level up, you know. And then with this band, Drew is just so fucking good at what he does. I will never be a guitar player like that. Oh, yeah. You know, I wouldn't even try. Like that's his gift, you know. And he's also a really great songwriter. So then our drummer, Sean, is also really fucking good at song craft and stuff. And they played together in a band called the Split Seconds. And that's how I met them. Because when Turbulent Hearts played Punk Rock Bowling in 2019, Split Seconds, a DC band, were playing on the same day in the same stage. And I was like, oh my God, this is my new favorite band. Like, these guys are so good. So like I tracked them down and was like, we gotta be friends. We gotta hang out. And like, fast forward, like we're a band now. You know, which is really, really cool. We like joined forces, we're like Transformer style and like got better and stronger, you know, because Drew, he was like, I don't actually want to be a lead singer. And I'm like, I don't want to play lead guitar parts, you know? Yeah. And so actually having Drew and Sean, I do a lot of pre-production with them now as far as songs go. And for a long time, it was me just kind of on my own. And you can do good stuff like that. But like, I don't believe that I know everything or that I know what's best for the song. You know, I want ears that I trust, fucking talented people being like, well, what if we try this thing? You know, it's like, okay, cool. And that's more fun for me. Like, I don't want to be all on my own, delegate like every fucking little note and everything. Like, I am very, like, most of the time, very certain about what it is I hear and what I want. You know, but that doesn't mean I always know best. And having people that are really good at what they do too makes the whole thing better. And it's all about what's best for the song.
Right. Awesome. That's gonna be another 3-song EP with it. I don't have the track list. I wanted to write that down, but I know that the two other tracks have similar words in it. I'm trying to think.
Sonic Attraction.
Yes.
Yeah, Sonic Attraction is the first song. I love that song. It's so much fun. I can't wait to release it next month. And then Animal is the second song on the EP, and that's the title track, you know, for the EP. And I would say that all three of these songs are totally different from each other. Oh, cool. But totally fucking complement each other. So like, it's cool that Pirates Press Records wanted to release Gold Record Autograph first, because it's actually the last song on the EP. Okay, yes. So I think people are going to think they know what they're getting. And then it's going to be like, awesome. You know, yeah. I mean, I do what the record label says because they're fucking smart. Right.
Yeah. With Pirate Press too. I think I saw or read that they make their own vinyl. That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. They actually started as a vinyl production plant, and they work with other record labels still to this day. You know, I'm sure if you go to your shelf and pull out some newer punk rock records, you'll see that they were pressed by Pirates Press. But then there's the other arm, you know, which is Pirates Press Records, which is different because those are bands that they've picked to be a part of the roster, and it operates a little bit differently. And I love my label mates. They're really great bands on that record label. and they've just been so supportive. And it's like every artist's dream to have a label that fucking believes in you and like lets you do what the fuck you want to do,
Right, yeah.
artistically. That's so cool. And they're always like available for me to ask stupid questions, and there are no fucking stupid questions, but I've learned so much in the last year because I'll be like, can you explain that to me? Like sometimes things like there's so many different things going on in the music industry, and it's like, and they always take time to like really fucking explain something to me. And I want to work really hard for them, make their job as easy as possible so they can do what they're doing for me,
Right.
without bumps in the road and shit. And like, we just work so well together.
Yeah, that's great. That's really
Yeah.
great to hear when that works out. I feel
Because
like people now realize more than ever that that's the best relationship to have in like music.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a match made in heaven. And, if we're going to talk about Gold Record Autograph, like, why would I leave a label that gives me everything I've ever wanted, in that relationship for something else? And really, I've been, as a songwriter, you're always trying to grow and be better at your craft. And I was like, how can I write this in kind of like a broad way where, like, I know not everybody has been in a band and had that opportunity come, but maybe there's something there that people can relate to about, like, even if it's going for a new job or something like that, like leaving what to risk it for something that may pay off, but also might fucking not. And like, gotta have it automatic. It's like, oh, I'll do anything right now to make that fame happen or whatever,
Dream of reality.
So
sometimes in that song, in the Golden Record Autograph, it doesn't pan out.
Yeah. And like, if you've got like a hometown scene that they put on DIY shows and you're a part of that, and it's like you're driving away from it, like those motherfuckers might turn on you. Like,
yeah, I hear that a lot with bands. I
Yeah.
hear that a lot with bands. They say that like there's no one lifts each other up usually. It depends on where you're at, I guess, but
Sure. Yeah. And I think people should go for things, if they feel right. And I can see how something like that being dangled in front of you will look really good. Like, I have almost signed really stupid fucking contracts, like when it comes to contracts and things, people who are out there who want something from you and they're not like pure of heart,
Right. No,
they will find ways to make it look really good, and you have to fucking protect your baby, your band baby, or whatever art it is that you're doing, and really get a lot of eyes on it and have people look over it. Because if it sounds like it's too good to be true, probably fucking is.
Yeah. Oh gosh,
Mhm.
that's like that's a side I never experienced, and I never will
Yeah.
But as a band, trying to be a
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Band, but that's just
These are rock and roll horror stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll switch it though. Like, I wanted to ask too about the best time for writing lyrics. When do you do that? Like, I know like Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, he says he wakes up in the morning, the first thing he does is start writing. So
I fucking hate every morning ever, and I have to have them every day.
Yeah.
It sucks. Not a morning person unless you're talking about staying up all night until 4 or 5 in the morning.
That's usually
because it's nice and quiet and everyone's asleep. Like, I'm a night owl through and through. Yeah. With lyrics, usually what happens, and I've been finding in the last couple years, most of my songs have been just kind of like being downloaded into my brain from some spaceship somewhere or something. I don't fucking know where they come from. Usually it's like a melody or a little hook or a little, some kind of thing. And then I really just kind of roll that around in my brain for a long time until like words kind of attach to it, and even if, the stupider the better. You just have to start adding words to whatever you're hearing, and work it, and just kind of, it's like kneading bread,
Right.
And you just kind of keep working at it. And as long as you've got something there and you can kind of work out like the melody a little bit better, and then you got like a placeholder basically, and usually I'll start with that. And lyrics, lyrics take me for fucking ever. I'm the most self-conscious about my lyrics because those are fucking gonna be looked at and read, and they're like, yeah. I wouldn't consider myself a poet so much, some people are fucking great, like Tim Armstrong, oh my god, Bob Dylan, what the fuck, some people are just really, they have that way with words, and it's a little bit harder for me. So I just try to not like overthink it too much and remind myself, like, what would Joey Ramone do? And it would be simple. Keep it fucking simple.
Right.
When you're telling a story, like, you just got to make it really easy to understand. Or at least that's what I like to do. And I usually write lyrics in chunks, like if I get that first kind of chorus thing out of my head, then I'll start writing stuff, and then I won't look at it for 3 weeks or a month or something. And then I'll go back. And then as crunch time comes to like recording or something or taking it to the band, I usually furiously write things out, and that's when like good stuff happens. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that's fucking great, but it's almost like I have to be under pressure for it to come out, and then I edit. And I'm like always trying to find better words and stuff that just kind of paint the picture. But I'm sure my method is different from the next guy and the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. There's not really like a correct way to do it. And I've found that songs that I've over edited and been super stressed out about, by the time we go into the studio, I'm saying the most basic, simple bullshit, and it's the most effective, because it's like, it's just punk rock.
Yeah. Like if I'm not a man, I feel like that's the most Joey Ramone thing. It's simple, straight, to the point.
Good.
Yeah.
Joey and Dee Dee. Yeah. Always.
When I first heard that song, off the last EP, I was just like, "That's okay. That's it. I
cool.
It's that one song you just turn it up and it's
good. Yeah.
Take it any deeper. It's just punk rock. It's awesome.
Lyrically, that one came to me a lot faster because it is a fun song, and I knew I didn't want to be serious about it. Like, I'm not like a super political songwriter. I want people to come to my shows and forget everything that's going on outside of the club, so why not like poke a little fun at this like really serious feminist thing, like songs that have to be so serious, and I'm like, no, it's just fucking stupid. Like, like, I'm not a man and I don't give a damn. Perfect. It rhymes. I love it. It's legit, and all of the lyrics in that song are me just having a little bit of fun with it. And I think another song that did that really well is like Just a Girl by No Doubt. Oh, yeah. It's like clearly the message is there and you can feel it. Like, it's a feminist anthem. Like, I'm fucking like proudly affirming, like, I'm a fucking woman and it's fucking great, but it's also not like, tearing anybody else down. And there's not like any negativity in it, it's just a fun song,
right.
Yeah,
absolutely. I totally agree. And that's I didn't correlate that with Just a Girl, but it totally makes sense. Sorry. Like, oh yeah, that's simple.
Like, it's almost so cliche that you have to buy into the cliche because it's just fucking stupid. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Just a girl in the world.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, for like, I know you said with Suzi Moon, you like in Turbulent Hearts, you did everything. So is that more the case, or now when you're on Pirates Press, is there more pressure taken off of you? Like, they had their angle, what to do, and then.
No, there will never be a day when the pressure is not on me, and it's like
That's you.
Like,
okay.
Imposed. Yeah. I have gotten better at delegating in the last year because now I've got an amazing band that I fucking trust, and that because I did things so much by myself in DIY with Turbulent Hearts, I think I had a little like PTSD from that. I was like, I will be the one screen printing the shirts until 4 a.m. I will hand cut the fucking patches. I will book every tour, you know? And I'm still that way, like by nature, like, cause visually, like I have a very clear idea of what I want, you know, but my bass player, Patty, is a really artistic dude and mad fucking stylish. And so like, he loves his band so much. He's like, give me things to do. And I'm like, oh, okay. That would make my life a little easier. Yeah,
hey, I'm right here.
I can give you things to do,
Yeah.
you know? So like he'll take on like cool, like spray painting projects, you know, like, he painted my mic stand that we bring on stage gold and black and like, it looks really cool, you know? Or he did like our merch stand, you know, things that I would take on, like, but I don't have to do everything by myself,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And I have an awesome band that wants to help. So it's like, that's been a lesson for me is, letting the help in.
Yeah.
But it's a full-time fucking job. Like this is a business, you know, like you either go like so deep into fucking debt, like with the band, or you try to be smart about it, you know? And like Drew is really, really fucking good at Excel spreadsheets and shit. Okay. And like, I can't even look at numbers without feeling a little bit sick. Like, right. Like keep the math out of the band, you know, but math is an important part of running a band. Right. And, absolutely. You know, and so like something that I've never had before is like, so we're going on this Teenage Bottle Rocket tour right. At the end of March. Mm-hmm. And Pirates Press Records, who we also get our merchandise printed through, they were like, so what's your projection on how many shirts you're going to need? And I was like, I don't know. How do I figure this out? You know? And then Drew pulls out the Excel sheet, looks at what we sold every night of the Queers tour, right? You know, applies it to the possible, like the 8 shows we're going to do with Teenage Bottle Rocket. And all of a sudden the numbers I need are there, you know? That's cool. And it's like little things like that help the band so much, you know? And like, I definitely couldn't figure that shit out on my own. I would have either ordered too much, ordered too little, you know, and been pissed at myself either way, you know? So it's like, really like we're such a fucking great team here and it's so cool. And they obviously like give me the full run of like the visual stuff, like photo shoot things and music video, like art direction and all that, because that's something that just comes naturally to me, you know, but these other things that these guys are really good at, like, I don't have to pretend that I can do all those things so great, you know, like let these motherfuckers shine because they're really fucking talented and everybody's contributing. And as a whole, like we've got a common goal and it's just way better.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, especially like learning the history of, you know, you doing everything on your own and all that. So that's good to hear. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I just have to tell you that my brother just farted.
Oh no, I hope it's not too bad.
I don't know. I hope your camera picked that up.
I'll listen back. I think I might have heard something.
You know what? It will never not be funny if your brother farts while you're like hanging out.
My one friend, I work with him too. Like we'll be walking, like we clock out and we're walking out to the car and like we're walking on the steps at work and all I hear is like 10 farts, like all over the place. Like, I asked him, it's like he holds it in all day.
Oh, he was just waiting for you.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
He started talking, hey, and he goes, and I'm just like, anyway, yeah.
Farts will never not be funny.
No.
And see, I get to play in this band and I get to hang out with my fucking dudes all the time. They're disgusting and I love them. Like,
that's great. Yeah, it's good to see that because I know I could tell that, and there's nothing wrong with that either. You're very DIY and you care so much about what you're doing and everything. And it's hard to ask because you don't want to either burden somebody with anything
yeah. Everyone's got their jobs too, you know, and their home life and stuff. And like, I really respect that. So it's like, we're trying to be smart about touring. We don't want to burn ourselves out either. Like everyone, like that balance I was talking about earlier when I was in Civet and we just kind of burnt out,
right.
You know, it's like, we need to find like our flow that really works for us so we can hit the markets we really want to go to and like see our fans, see our friends, you know, but also have enough time to come home and like, okay, I'm a person too. And, you know, I've got my fucking normal routine and I'm taking care of myself and stuff. And like finding that balance is really important because I want my bandmates to feel good,
right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. That's always important. Because it
Hmm.
does destroy a lot of it destroys a lot of bands, just especially when you guys were into so young. Um,
Oh, totally.
Speaking of the touring and all that, I want to get into I know with like last year with COVID and everything shows was Camp Punk. I'm gonna totally gonna butcher. I butcher it every time. Pennsylvania. Oh, I did okay. Was
Woo! You
that
totally did it.
was that your
Yeah.
first thing back to playing shows?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
The first show, the first Suzi Moon band show, was 2 days before.
Okay.
But that weekend was our first time playing shows together. We had rehearsed, we had recorded,
Mm-hmm.
we had been hyped up and stuff. But that was the first weekend that we actually played as a band. Our first show ever was at the Fire in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Um,
That's where you're playing next for this tour, I think.
yeah, and that would be my third time playing there. Like now, that's my Philly club. Like I love that club. They take really good care of us.
Yeah.
We have a good time there.
That's on a Friday. Hopefully, I'm either thinking of calling out or I don't know. We'll see.
Call
Yeah,
out, call out,
yeah.
call
Can't
out.
make it, I'm
You gotta
sorry.
play hooky, man.
Yeah.
What would the Jasons do?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. I know that's what I was saying. 'Cause they're playing with the Queers this summer in
Cool.
Broken Goblet in Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's on a Friday. I was like, oh no, we gotta do it again.
Are you closer to Philly or Pittsburgh?
Philly. I'm like
Okay.
an hour, I would say. Philly.
Okay.
Yeah, give or take.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So which
But
is
yeah,
cool.
we did that little mini tour with Antagonizers, ATL, who are also a Pirates Press Records band. So we're like, they were doing Camp Pennsylvania too, and they're from Atlanta. So it was like, oh, well, you guys want to do like a couple days to warm up before we play the festival, And so we got to meet them, hang out with them, do a few shows. It was really fun. And then by the time we played Pennsylvania, we are like, all right, we're a real band, like
Right.
we're in the swing of this, really. And that's where we met the Queers. And then a few months later, they had invited us out to do a short run with them. So that
That's
was
so
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. They play that too. Yeah. It's everyone I've talked to just about this show. Well, I interviewed like 3/4 of the Jason is now. One guy, he's like the tricky one. But
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like they're all friends of Joe Queer, and this one other guy I interviewed, Dave Strong. He knows
Mm-hmm.
Joe Queer. It's like
Yeah.
it's crazy how, well, not surprising, but it's just like very interesting how he keeps he's very
He keeps
present.
popping
Yeah,
up.
he's very present in
Yeah.
everybody. That was just cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's a great guy.
yeah, 'cause you guys did that tour in December, which was cool.
Uh-huh.
Which made me appreciate how like I saw every band that you guys played, or every venue I should say, sorry. You posted on your Instagram like the opener band, like, hey, these guys, check them out. And to me that was really, I think that's awesome because
Cool.
obviously you do care about what's going on and what stuff, but most people don't do that. So
Yeah.
to see that's really nice and refreshing.
Okay, good. I'm glad that somebody paid attention because
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I checked out. Yeah.
you never know. You never know if people do want to see that, But I always go and watch the opening bands. Like they have every reason to be there. Like we all play a part in this, and they have such a big job getting the show warmed up, getting people stoked.
Yeah.
And it can be scary to have that slot too. Like I've fucking been there a bunch of times,
Mhm.
and but it's every show you play counts, and they're all important. And if they can make one fan or one new follower or something from that, I just want to show them that I'm grateful that they're there with us,
Right.
And it's funny because so last night my buddy Ryan, he plays in a band called I Don't Know How, But They Found Me, and they're yeah,
Okay.
yeah, or IDK How is like the short thing.
Okay, that's what's up.
And it's one of the guys from Panic at the Disco, and then Ryan, he's the drummer. And Ryan and I, we've known each other for like 17 years. Like we have seen each other go through every fucking single band, and every single fucking incarnation of like our crazy careers, like very parallel in a lot of ways, So it's really special for me to see him playing in a band that they sold over 1,000 tickets last night.
Wow.
in DC, and I'm like, it's right. I remember when he played to nobody and he came to my show when I played to nobody, So it's funny though, this band, I don't know how, but they found me. They have the funniest fucking song that they do at the end of the set. And it's like, nobody likes the opening band is the joke, because they've been the opening band so many times. And so it's like, everybody is waiting for the headliner and blah, 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 this, and then nobody likes the opening band, and it's really funny. And very like tongue in cheek, and the last time I'd seen them, they were opening for the Offspring actually. Oh. And they played this song and the crowd fucking loved it. Because it's like that thing that you can relate to is like, it's so hard to be an opening band, and everyone wants to see the headliner, but like there's a special place for opening bands, and someday they're going to be headliners, right. Hopefully, so I thought that was a brilliant song. And I was like, damn it, I wish I'd written that. So funny,
You find something in the vein of that. That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And it was great because now, since they're the headliner, they brought out the singer from the opening band that they had last night and gave him a verse that was like, yeah, but nobody likes the headlining band. They're all full of themselves, blah, 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 and it was just like cute banter, like back and forth,
Yeah.
But it's just making light of the situation. And I find it to be really smart and funny.
For sure.
Yeah.
No one's everyone in the crowd, the Offspring show, are just going to remember that. Too.
Yeah. Because it's like you're being like, there's a humility there. Right. Like,
right.
You didn't come to fucking see us. We know that, but we're going to do our best.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. It's leaving it like totally clear in the air and just be like, all right. Speaking of the stage though, I mean, way to remember people. I know that like seeing like clips and all that, you live and all that, you go off the rails too, which is really cool to see. Have you ever like hurt yourself by accident? Because I've seen you climb stuff and all that. I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, I've always been like really active, like my whole life, like gym rat and sports, and I did a lot of gymnastics when I was a kid. So I've never felt unsafe, or like I've definitely done things that have scared people, but I know my own body and like what I can do, and it's fun sometimes to scare people. It's not fun all the time. You don't want to scare people too much. It's not, I don't want to make people upset, but honestly, I can't control it sometimes. Like, I don't know where the fuck it comes from. Just the spirit of rock and roll or whatever. But I did slip recently on a puddle of water, totally not even doing anything crazy, like just a puddle of water that was on the ground. And my back hurt for like a couple hours, but it wasn't bad. Like, and it would have been cooler if I had been doing something cool, but it was just a fucking puddle of water that I spilled on. Like,
while you're playing live, though, right?
And I like went out into the crowd and there was like, a puddle.
Was it the Queers tour?
Yeah, this was in Columbus.
Okay, I remember seeing a clip of I think you were in the middle of the circle pit, and like that was a cool shot. You were playing in the pit, everyone's running around you.
Totally came out, no scratches.
That's awesome.
But me versus a shitty puddle of water on the ground, and I'm down.
Right.
Like,
that's the irony of everything,
I know, right?
That's awesome. That was a good shot.
I've been lucky.
Yeah. I showed it to my friend at work. I was like, dude, you gotta check this out. Like, look, she's in the pit.
Cool.
And they're all around her.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a lot of dudes do that, but I haven't seen any chick do it. And I was like, I think it's my turn.
Yeah, you're for real. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So yeah, I know with you mentioned the tours coming up. You have the Teenage Bottle Rocket tour, the Brandon Birthday Bash, starting on the 25th in March, and goes to the 2nd in April. Sorry.
I want to say we're in like. Is it ending in Laramie or Casper, Wyoming?
I think I don't have it written down, but I think I saw the April 1st. Wait, April 1st. That's when your EP comes out. You're gonna be in Laramie.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. And anybody who's out visiting us and coming to the shows on the Teenage Bottle Rocket tour, they're actually going to get to buy the EP before everybody else, because I'm going to have copies of the EP on that tour.
Perfect. Awesome.
Yeah. So they'll technically get it ahead of the release date, which is really cool.
That's
and, awesome. My earring. Sorry, I lost it.
That's okay.
I got these at the thrift store.
Those are cool. Oh, you wrote that
I painted that, so it says fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so we're doing that tour with Teenage Bottle Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited because I love that band and I just want to watch them play every night. They're so cool. And then the tour with the Ravagers starts April 14th in Boston.
Right.
And we're going fucking all over the place and
Yeah, that's a long
ending
one.
in Baltimore. Yeah, which is great. So we're going to be on the road for a pretty long time.
That's great. Whoop. I don't know if you heard that. Sorry, I got a giant Saint Bernard downstairs
Oh, nice.
running around.
What's the doggy's name?
His name's Herschel.
Herschel.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. When I first got him, he was like so tiny. I was holding him. I was like, "What's a big boy name?"
I bet.
That sounds like a
Yeah.
big boy name. Yeah, I wish I could do it now, but I mean, it's a little difficult. I think he just ran into something. I'll find out later.
He's like, Dad, come pay attention to me.
Yeah, for real. He's like, "Dude,
Probably.
it's snow outside."
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Want to go outside? Is your dog one of those dogs that likes to play in the snow,
Yes.
or is like no?
Yes.
He does.
Like
Yeah.
this morning, he
Yeah.
lost it. We have my fiance's sister is up from Florida, and she brought her
Mhm.
dog, and
Cool.
they love each other. She's like a rescue
Oh,
pit. And
nice.
yeah, at
Fun.
first she didn't like the snow, but then she went out again. It's been a while
Yeah,
since she's seen
yeah.
snow, obviously.
It's cute. Snow pups doing their little thing.
Yeah. Oh, I throw snowballs
Yeah.
at him. I'm out there for
Mhm. Yeah, my cat, she'll fucking go out there. I'm like, you are crazy.
Mhm.
I won't go out there, but my cat will go out for hours.
Yeah, so is mine. Luckily it's snow because he's a black cat, so it's easy to. He doesn't get
Bottom.
too far off.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be a long tour anyway. Sorry, with the
Mhm.
Ravagers, they came out
No,
with a new
all
album
good.
too, which I heard of them.
They did,
thanks
yeah.
to you.
Oh,
Obviously,
cool.
announcement. I'm like, this band sounds cool, and check them out.
Do you love them?
Yeah, the album's really good. Definitely, it's a relief to see like all this good music coming. I mean, and
Uh-huh.
we were, I don't know, like, cause I felt like, everything was shut down. I thought, oh my god, it's gonna be an overflow of music, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe I guess in my world it's not too bad. I thought.
I feel like it's been kind of the same.
Yeah,
like,
really, honestly.
yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah.
there's no out. Like there was one Friday, like nothing came out, like. And
For
I was
sure.
Like, oh, this is how it was before.
You right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I thought it was.
But who knows? Some people too might still be waiting because like the vinyl thing got like pushed back a lot
Yeah.
for a lot of so people might just be in the queue waiting for their shit, and then there will be one Friday where everything comes out.
Right.
Like,
But that's,
Yeah,
that brings you back to the Pyre Press. That doesn't affect you at all because they do it. So that's awesome.
I'm very lucky in that way that they've got a little bit of a head start on things.
Yeah, because I talked to the Jasons and then this other guy, my buddy from California, his name's Monty Oblivion. He came out with a new album in December.
Do you mind if I grab my cat really quick?
Yeah, let me see him.
Okay. What are you doing? Come on. She scared us last night. She didn't come in, and it was all cold.
Oh man.
She's a very important cat. All cats are very important cats, but she is the reason that the album is called Animal, because she was my inspiration for the title track of the EP. So she's kind of fucking famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't heard it yet, but it's like, I'm an animal, I'm a fucking animal, rock and roll animal, I'm a fucking animal. And I couldn't sleep one night, and like the song like kind of popped into my head. So I came out here and she was sleeping. And I was like, oh, she's so cute. I'm petting her, and then she was like, I love that. And then she was like,
Yeah.
like, because cats will switch in like just a minute, And I was like, I love you for that. Like, so it's like, I'm going to tease you, please you, make you mine. And then I'll catch you, scratch you, bleed you dry, because I'm an animal. I'm a fucking animal,
Awesome.
So it was totally inspired by her. And then as like the songwriting kind of continued and stuff, I realized I was actually talking about being a woman, like in another way. Like it kind of like tied in to like this whole like female thing, and anyway, I can't wait for people to hear it.
Yeah.
She is a rock star, and not my biggest fan. She could care less. I think she would just rather me not be on tour.
Right.
But
all cats
yeah.
are big fans. We have more love for them, I feel like sometimes.
Absolutely.
They love
yeah.
on their own terms.
We literally worship her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, as they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I don't want to hold you too long, but
Okay. There's a full length coming out too.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. I'm glad you said that, because I remember I was
Yeah.
reading the thing. I was reading the thing and I saw the full length thing. I was like, should I not? I don't know. Should I say something? But
No, totally. Yeah, that's cool.
coming out late in
We're
the
all
summer?
super. Yeah, probably late August, early September. I started recording it 2 years ago, so it has been a long time coming. Yeah. And it wasn't like ready. I had to go back in and re-record some stuff. So then I had the songs for the Animal EP, and we're like, fuck it, let's just do another EP and buy ourselves some more time, which is just timing out beautifully.
Yeah,
Like
really.
it's really good because I had the songs and they were ready to go, but we had to still do some work on the full length. So it was like, cool, let's do this. And Pirates was like all about it.
Nice.
And really Call the Shots and the Animal EP, like to me, they're like two sides of the same coin. Like they're very complementary, like a really good introduction to who I am, and like what I'm all about. But the full length is the thing I've been just like fucking dying to release because it's kind of hard to tell a story with 3 songs, and the full length is going to be a 10-song LP. And like, I think it just gives people a way better idea about what kind of songwriter I am. And it's a love story to California. Like it's a very California classic punk rock album. I started recording it before I left, I was like, this is the record I have to do in Long Beach, in the town I grew up, with Davey Warsop, who produced Bad Cop, Bad Cop. And he's like an old buddy of mine. We recorded in Long Beach, and like, it is a California record, and so I cannot wait to get it out, and it's coming. It's really fucking gonna happen. Like,
full length.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm fucking stoked.
You have a song on there, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I heard you had it for like 7 years too, but you tried doing it with Turbulent Hearts, but it wasn't a Turbulent Hearts song.
Oh yeah.
Is that gonna be
it's called
one?
Freedom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's gonna be the last song on the full length.
Okay.
It's very stripped down. I can't tell you much more than that.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that fucking song, I did write it 7 years ago.
Wow.
I like remember being in my tiny studio in LA, just right. And it finally found its spot, It wasn't meant to be a Turbulent Heart song, but I don't think that songs, they don't have an expiration date,
Yeah.
Otherwise we wouldn't be listening to songs from the 70s,
Of course,
like songs are forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just have to find the right time to come out and join, and finally, it's not the song I'm the most excited about. Like I want to tell everybody about all the other songs,
Yeah.
but it's something that like I feel very good about finally just getting it down,
Awesome. That's so awesome to hear.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna mess up the title because I didn't write it. I just saw it there. I was like, maybe she doesn't want to talk about it. I'm just gonna leave that out there. But what was
what title?
Yeah, the album title.
Oh, it's Dumb and in Love.
Dumb and in Love. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the other way around.
Love is dumb.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah.
And it's Love, LUV.
Yeah, right.
Because the New York Dolls.
Yeah, of course.
Duh.
Best believe it.
Yeah. And that's actually the title track for the album.
Okay.
Yeah, and we've been playing that song live. So if somebody comes out to a show, they'll hear it.
Awesome. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have posted that maybe or something. But it's
probably. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So there's just a lot of really good stuff going on, and I've got my bandmates and Pirates Press Records to thank, and all the fucking awesome fans. Like I'm hearing, so many people have already pre-ordered the EP, which is fucking cool. Like it's such a surreal feeling to have people actually give a shit about what you're up to.
Yeah.
And it just makes me want to work harder and do better and like can continue to contribute like the best I can to punk rock because it's given me everything.
Yeah. I'm glad it has for you. It has for me too. I actually probably wouldn't be sitting here right now talking to you if it wasn't for punk rock. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. We're lifers.
Yeah. Really. I forgot what I was gonna say that, but do you guys have anything else in the works too, like tour wise as well, or is it, you're just kind of doing one thing at a time?
Yeah, we've got this like big spring thing that's happening.
Okay.
We're playing an awesome motorcycle festival,
Ooh.
punk rock motorcycle rock and roll festival in Chicago in June. It's called Motoblot.
Okay.
It's like a 3-day festival. So I'm really excited about that. We're also going to hit Canton, Ohio, and I think Pittsburgh. We'll make a short little run out of it, because if we have to go to Chicago, I want to play other shows, like such a long drive.
Right.
Yeah. And then we're going to Europe and the UK in the summer.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited.
That's
yeah.
weird.
And then I love touring over there. The UK, especially because I went there a lot with Turbulent Hearts and a lot with Savette. So I've got friends there that I've known for 15 years that are still throwing shows. So like I will always play shows for like these bookers, that I've known for fucking ever, and they've had my back for a really long time. So it's like a family reunion kind of.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a connection after all these years. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you gotta fucking hold on to your people, like if all of a sudden all the Spotify and all the labels and all the things that we rely on went away, like we would at least still have each other,
Right. Oh, yeah,
and find a way to, so it's like that shit's so valuable to me. And I genuinely love my friends, and the people who are in this. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we might have something really cool coming up in the fall, but I can't talk about that yet.
Yeah.
So, but I think it'll be something that gets a lot of people really excited.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Animal comes out April 1st in Pirate Press. Down below, I'm going to link to, I'm sure there's still, hopefully there's some 7 inches left you can still pre-order.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Cool. And
yeah,
I'll post all the links down for everything as well. And yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Is there anything you want to add, or?
Yeah, I'm going to make some chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's dinner time. I don't really do the Super Bowl thing.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. Yep.
Yeah. I worked in a sports bar like during football season one year, and I still don't know how the fuck that game is played. Like, I can't wrap my head around it.
I worked at a bar too, and just seeing people like screaming, and I'm just like, look up.
Oh my god!
Like, all right.
I saw a guy throw a plant across the. I saw a guy throw a plant across the restaurant. I'm like, sir, there are children here.
Yeah.
It's just football. You got to calm the fuck down. Like.
Yeah, but that one guy didn't do. Oh.
Oh no. Yeah. So I'm gonna make some dinner for my family, and then maybe Google the halftime show so I can see Snoop and Eminem, because I could fuck with that.
Oh,
and,
I even know who. I'm totally out of it. That's who's playing. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then early dinner, and then back to the grind.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Suzi, yeah, thank you so much for coming on.
Hell yeah, man.
Talking to me. I didn't honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, when I was messaging you, I was like, when I was buying that Turbulent Hearts like greatest hit CD.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Let me see. I'm like, if not, I mean, I've gotten. No one owes me a yes or whatever, but so thank you for giving me that.
Bravo to you for putting yourself out there, though, because you have to ask. Like, I still blindly DM people that I admire.
Yeah.
You never stop doing that. Like,
very cool.
Always do that, because you don't know. Generally, people want to talk, and like generally people are pretty fucking friendly. Yeah. And I admire that you're doing this. I think it's cool and it's good for our community, so I'm happy to be a part of it. And it's nice to talk to you.
Absolutely. It was a great time. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right.
Let me know when this airs and I'll share it everywhere and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely I will. I'm gonna edit it tonight and stuff.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Suzi.
Okay, I'm gonna get off the phone because my brother can't stop farting, and that's embarrassing. I just have to go.
Yeah.
I just gotta go.
Right.
Okay. All right. I'll see you soon, though. Hopefully at a show.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see you.
Okay, right on. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Are you gonna go change yourself? Yesterday you were on the shelf. Go ahead, kid, it's your chance to throw it all away. Gotta have an automatic gold record autograph. Signing blood is no fun, working time in a half. They say you better not waste our time. record autograph.